So this episode starts off with a really cool sequence of us seeing one of the many human double lives that Muzan has been living. Before, we saw him kind of living like the Michael Jackson father life. And then at the end of season 1, we saw him living like a geisha second life, I guess. And now we're seeing him as a child. And I always thought this was such a cool reveal because aside from it just tying the lore together here and expanding Muzan as a character and showing us his core motivation, and of course UFO Table really strengthens this scene along with all of the other scenes that they adapt from the manga, and I'll go more into that later. But when he looks over to Akaza as a normal child and then suddenly his Muzan-ness takes over, very, very well done here. But anyway, he's been living these double lives because he's trying to figure out the secret of the blue spider lily. This is like essentially the crux of the Demon Slayer story, I guess. And also represents Muzan's own little opposite MC story here, because as much as Tanjiro is trying to take down Muzan, Muzan is trying to find the blue spider lily. And in this instance, him becoming a child allows him to like infiltrate this family who is like implied to be like a doctor or something. And also his cover story is brilliant. He has some kind of condition as to where he can't go out in the sunlight, so he has to stay in all day. And it also even motivates the father guy just independently on his own to figure out how to fix this. But of course, Muzan isn't banking on that. That's why we see him with the books here, and also why he has the upper moons going out and looking for it. Hence why Akaza telling him that he killed a Hashira means nothing, because the ultimate goal is the blue spider lily. But then we're coming to like the fallout of the Infinity Train movie here. When we come to Tanjiro meeting up with Rengoku's dad and brother, and we're seeing that like his dad is just awful. And it's because like after his mom died, it like destroyed him and he became like this savage alcoholic. And that, along with just his grief, has just altered him into just this terrible person. And ultimately this comes to Tanjiro fixing this relationship as much as he can, I guess. At least just giving some closure to his brother. And by doing that, his brother is also giving closure to his father. But the main significance of this sequence is the exposition that we're getting from Rengoku's dad when he explains the sun breathing here. This is super important stuff because this is like the origin of the powers in the Demon Slayer world. Like the breathing, it all comes from this. So it's kind of like the Indra Ashura type dynamic that we saw from Naruto, like that's where chakra came from, as well as a whole bunch of other series that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But essentially that the power scale originates from one place. But anyway, after seeing Tanjiro's earrings, it made his dad go off about sun breathing, and he says it's the first breathing technique that there ever was, and it's the strongest. And all the other breathing techniques are merely variations. All those styles are nothing more than imitations of sun breathing. They're lesser forms that copied sun breathing, and it makes it out better in the anime, of course, but in this sequence we're seeing who created sun breathing. It's this guy that we also kind of got a glimpse of in season 1 as well. This guy is amazing. He's like the best character in the series. I'm eventually gonna make a video about this guy because I think he's so fascinating. But anyway, after this, Tanjiro is essentially revealing to the audience what he needs to do to go to the next level so that he can eventually become a Hashira. Total concentration, constant, improved my physical strength, but that's not enough. If I continue to do constant, I'll get stronger day by day, but I won't get stronger instantly. And then it essentially boils down to him realizing that there's no shortcut, and then he's gonna have to grind this out, even though there is a shortcut because there's gonna be multiple time skips, but that's neither here nor there. But then Senjuro gives Tanjiro the handguard from Rengoku's Nichiren sword, like the flame thing, which is pretty cool. But don't get excited because you're not gonna see him use this for a long time. So then we're coming to one of those time skips that I was talking about where it says almost 4 months had passed since the death of Rengoku. Most days we trained, but when crows came with instructions, we took break and went to battle demons. And then we get a little more exposition on Zenitsu and Inosuke. This is valuable because these two characters specifically are going to suffer from the time skips, but I think the anime is going to fix that. And I'll go into that now because we're coming to an anime original sequence, which I think is much needed, to be honest. Because first of all, we're seeing Tanjiro do something after this 4-month time skip. It establishes that he's pretty powerful now because we know this demon's strong because we could see how fast he regenerates, but also Nezuko gets to do something because just like what I said with Inosuke and Zenitsu, she is going to suffer from off-panelage in this series. But since we're getting this anime original scene here, I'm assuming we're gonna get quite a few of these. We already did with the Infinity Train stuff in the beginning of this season, so I'm totally on board with this, just as long as it's good, Just because there's additional content just doesn't automatically mean that's a good thing, you know what I mean? But anyway, Tanjiro's coming back here and we're getting reintroduced to the Sound Hashira, Uzui. We first saw this guy along with all of the other Hashiras back at the end of season 1, and Uzui specifically was more, I don't know, ambivalent kind of. I mean, he was definitely against Nezuko being there because she was a demon, and that doesn't necessarily indicate whether a character is going to be like heel or face or good or bad or whatever, especially in this case because he is a Hashira. This is his life to kill demons, so it's understandable if he's like against a demon being there, even if his commander is saying that it's okay. But I feel like Uzui maybe more so is left up for development, more so than, let's say, Shinazugawa, who is obviously just a complete sociopath at this point. But this whole introduction sequence where he's like abducting the girls here is kind of just establishing that, first of all, this is like a misunderstanding, but also showing what his overall attitude is like. He is no nonsense, but he's also like one of those like Chadley bro types, as to where he's way too aggressive and forthcoming in like social situations, but his heart is in the right place. And he is trying to do the right thing, at least in his head, but he's coming across as like a jerk to other people, but obviously not to the extent of like a Shinazugawa, like I was saying. But anyway, he reveals that this next big mission that they're going on is in the entertainment district, and that's why he's taking these girls with him, or just this one girl now. But then also he basically is like, hey, you guys don't want me to bring her? Well then fine, how about you all just come with me? So he's essentially forcing them to come on this mission with him. And this is what this arc is going to be. The boys are teaming up with Uzui the Sound Hashira here, and they're going to the entertainment district to take down some super powerful demons. I'm pretty sure you know what type of demon is going to be there. Also in the ending sequence, we're getting a spoiler development on this guy Uzui here, and it turns out that these 3 women here are his wives. How does that work? It does. And they probably do what you think they do. I mean, why not, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comments. Where do you think things are headed? Have you already read the manga? Let me know what you think about the adaptation in the anime. And also, please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be reviewing the rest of the episodes of this season. So stick around for that, and have a great day. See you in the next one.